Hey everyone, I'm Dan. Thanks for tuning into my channel You Do It, where I show you how I do it. You watch it, and then you do it. And so we're basically now ready for the flooring. We're gonna put a watertight or water-resistant laminate here with waxed clicking system. But before we do that, we have to address this issue of things not being properly level. Just gonna wet the area for a better bond. I don't really know how much I need, but let's start with that. Okay, something like that. Use this piece of baseboard. Alrighty, so before we start with our flooring, we have to undercut the jambs here, and the old flooring sticks out past the door. Here's the door, sticks out too far. I want to have my transition right here in the middle, so I'm gonna cut this back right with this, like this. So let's get ready. Sharpen my pencil real quick. And I did promise to tell you why I do sharpen pencil on both sides. That's pretty simple, really. Because I don't want to flip it back and forth a bunch of times during the day. And most people sharpen pencils like this. Whatever. This is what you do. You use this finger to kind of push your knife. See? This way it's much controlled. Much more controlled. See? Much easier. And you don't end up hurting yourself. So, it's ready on both sides. I don't need to flip it. Okay. So, I want to cut this back right here, and my T-molding will end up being somewhere here, so almost at the center line of the door. Doesn't have to be precise or anything. Just eyeball it. It's all gonna be covered by T-molding. It doesn't have to be precise. I'd cut it with the skill saw as much as I could and finish with this, right? But I want to try and use this blade instead and see how easy we can cut through this. So let's get our blade swapped. Well, if I had smoke detectors here, it's probably be buzzing right now. So went alright, but I'm not gonna do it again. It's not worth it, too much smoke. Put my scrap material right here and then undercut with this. And I do want to make sure that it slips under here as well, of course. If I need to undercut, I do, but it fits like a glove. So now we're ready to sweep back and lay some padding here and rock and roll. I was shooting at 2 frames per second unintentionally, so I didn't notice until I done a little bit of that. So what I was saying is we're not gonna tape them together because we're on the 2nd floor. We're living quarters above us, so we don't care about the moisture, and that's what this padding, one of the functions of this padding is to keep the moisture out coming from underneath. So when you do ground floors, do consider taping the seams. Of course, here we have a channel, a T-molding, so I'm gonna cut it back here, the padding, so I can glue my T-molding. Doesn't have to be precise, it's just padding. And so let's see if it's gonna drive into thin set. It kinda does. Okay. course we start in here at the door. Okay, the rule is that flooring cannot go all the way to the vertical surfaces like walls, cabinets, etc. So about 1/4 inch off. Now we're gonna do 1/4 inch off here. Okay, this line represents the piece that's gonna end up being cut off. I do it automatically now, but when you go and to cut 3, 4, 5 pieces, this is extremely helpful because you don't know where to put your blade, on which side to put your blade. This way you do. So you have 5 pieces, you don't have to figure it out or remember. You just have this line, blade goes on this side. Let's go cut it to make it a little easier, and then we'll cut under the door jamb. So I didn't feel like going up and down 25 steps for every cut that I have to make, so I brought my saw here, hooked my vacuum to it. Alright, you gotta put it right way. So I want this female lip to be facing toward the project, okay? I'm gonna put it 1/4 inch off the wall there. What I'm gonna do now is I want to slip right under here, about 1/4 inch. Alright, so I do this, then I do this. I'll take my tape, stick it in all the way. Now I'm gonna measure. I'm gonna leave about 3/4 inch gap here, okay, all the way through, because the T-molding will be glued and nailed right here. So I'm gonna measure from this line to my laminate piece here, and it shows me 2 5/16. So basically I gotta cut off 2 5/16 here. So I'm gonna do this, and you can put your X here, just so you dead sure that that's the piece that's gonna be trimmed out. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, about 3/4, right? Doesn't have to be exact or precise, so 2 3/8 or so. We're gonna do 2 3/8, and notice that I'm not hooking my blade on this male lip. It goes right here on the edge of the plank. Okay, so 2 3/8. Go cut it. Voila. Okay. It's pretty square. See how nice this is? That's professional job right there. Perfect. Okay. Now we know that the plank is 6.5 inch. Of course, you do want to kind of look in the locking systems and make sure nothing is sitting there, because that's gonna make your job harder. You're not gonna connect and line up properly. So we basically 1 2 3 let's do 3 planks at 44. Yep, 3 at 44. Now, since laminate flooring comes in patterns or repetitive patterns, you basically have just 5, 6, whatever designs. You want to make sure when you do this that the same plank doesn't sit here, or several planks don't sit, several identical planks, I should say. Like, let me show you what I mean. So these 3 are identical. Okay, and sometimes in one box you can have 3 or 4 identicals, and then 3 or 4 different, or 2 of each. I don't know how they do it. So, in other words, you don't want to have a picture that looks like this, right? You don't want them to be like that. You want to spread them up. Spread them apart, have 2 or 3 planks of different kind in between the identical ones. So I'm going to use one of those here. And the next, and I want to make sure it's not the same. And then this. Good. So I can do a tape measure and do 44. Or I can just do this. It's all the way in there, so I'm gonna cut about ½ inch off. 1/4 inch for that side, 1/4 inch for this side. Expansion gap, it's called, for things to expand and contract. Alright, so pieces I just leave on the table, so I take them off before I start the machine to cut the next. Okay, now we're ready to lay some flooring. And it's gonna move on you initially. Don't worry about it. Alright, looks pretty good. Section, make sure I have 3/4 here. I do, because I want that T-molding to slip right in there without me having to cut things off. Now I'm gonna take another plank. Have a couple ways of doing things here. You can either take this plank, cut it off here, and then continue with the short piece over there, or you do 1/4 inch, and you kind of stand it up, line it up right here, and just make a mark 1/4 inch away from the side wall or any vertical surface, cabinet, tile, shower pan or whatever. Put your X, you know, you're cutting this off. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, take a full plank and I'm gonna put it halfway. Why? Because it's gonna give me perfect line. So now I know what to insert here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put it wrong way. Okay, female, female. I'm putting it wrong way. Put it up against the wall. Here my gap. And I'm just gonna score a line with this. Okay? I'm gonna do the same thing. And I'm gonna put my mark here. So I know blade goes on this side. I'm gonna take another plank. Put it wrong way. Okay? Female, male. It's all the way against the wall on this side, so I'm going to do 1/4 inch shorter from this edge. And I'm going to put my mark here. So now I know. See? I don't have to guess or remember. I have 2 planks. Sometimes you have 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay. So all the cut-offs I'm gonna save it first. Okay, this laminate is actually a drop lock, which means that it will connect just like that. Okay, drop lock it's called. Most of the laminates you have to force them in like this. This one is probably like twice, well, maybe 2.5 times faster to work with. So all these leftovers I'm gonna put aside and I'm gonna use them as I go. This one will just sit right here. So now I know exactly what this strip is. Okay. So let's see how long it is. 36 1/8. I can use this one actually. Right? Yep. I'm gonna do 36. Always make sure you're doing it right way. Okay, 36 1/8 is my line. On this side, it's showing me 1 1/8 almost. I'm gonna do 7/8, 1/4 inch shorter. Okay, X. This gets removed. On this side, it's almost the same. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just gonna do about 7/8. I can take it off for now. And with drop lock, you do want to make sure you're going proper direction. Actually, let's see if I can explain it on our next piece. Now I'm gonna have to grab a pry bar. I'm just gonna stick it in there and move things in place. Gently. You don't have to force them too much. Okay. And now you can use this piece to begin my row. This piece can finish the row, but I'm gonna leave the ones that finish the row till the very, very end, where I'm gonna use these guys. So, of course, seams cannot be too close to each other. Okay? The rule of thumb is that the distance between seams is supposed to be no less than the width of the flooring. So it can be anywhere here, or it can be anywhere here. But here is not good. Okay? So you do want to make sure. Here's another one. I'm gonna put it on the side and mark it. I don't want to use this in the middle. I can use it up against the wall to finish the row. So do keep in mind the patterns, how it looks. I'm gonna put full plank here. I'm gonna put this one here. Okay. I have this piece. Now I want to basically create this kind of step pattern. Do watch out for these guys in the lock. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it, put it the wrong way, and mark it where I want it. Okay, cut this off. I'll take another one. Okay, and I want to be somewhere here. I'm gonna do this, mark it, and I have this little piece here. It can go next for these two. So I'm gonna go and cut them. These I'm gonna put here or out of the way somewhere. I just them here. Now I'm gonna put these guys over here where they go. Just like this. And now I don't need tape measure for this. All I need is a pencil. Okay, so I do want to make sure that it's not the same as this or that, right? And it is, see? So I don't want to use it here, I can use it here. Here's a full one that fits here. I'll just put it here. Grab the next one. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it the wrong way. put it up against the wall. I'm gonna do 1/4 inch from the edge. 1/4 inch. This 1/4 inch is the expansion gap that's gonna be created here when I cut this plank 1/4 inch shorter. Line tells me on which side to put my blade. And so I'm gonna put full ones. And see, of course I don't want to do that. See, they're identical. So I'm gonna shift this over right here. Another one. That's what I was saying. Sometimes they'll put 3 or 4 identical ones back to back. This one looks good here. About this guy over here. Yes, looks good. I'm gonna use this one over here. Just gonna put these guys in place, okay? What I'm gonna do next, you already know. I'm gonna put them wrong way again. Right here. Put my more 1/4 inch shorter. Put my line. Here. I'm gonna go there with my line. Put it wrong way, okay? Female, male. Flip it, put it the wrong way. Mark it. Line it. Let's see if I can use this one already or no. Probably too soon. I'm gonna use it probably on this next row here. Grab another one, make sure it's not the same. No, this and that are the same, but they're under the toilet, so nobody's gonna see that. Yeah, you have to think about everything. So, up against the wall, 1/4 inch, and see, now you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planks, that I'm gonna go and cut at the same time. Usually we do have saws set up outside, so we conserve our time. Instead of going to the table saw with 1 plank, I'm going to do 5 planks in 1 trip. Kind of. Okay. Now you can put 5 rows together and you see how fast it's gonna take me. Gently tapping, especially on the first couple of rows. You may need to step down here. See? Not forcing anything. Expansion gap. And this one in place. Now, expansion gap doesn't have to be 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch exactly, or whatever. Can be somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4. Sometimes even 5/16 is fine. We don't want to be shorter. I'm shifting it a little bit to give you more room. Oh, yes, like a glove. We're gonna watch out for the locking system to be free of debris. Alright, so all these pieces that I just cut off out there, I'm gonna go here to start my next row, or my next 5 rows or so. Again, I'm gonna put it the wrong way. Female and male, wrong way. 1/4 inch shorter, my mark here. Here. What I'm gonna do here, so I don't have to put no piece on there, I'm gonna shift it. Okay? A little bit. And I'm gonna go and see if the baseboard's gonna cover it. And it won't. So I'm gonna have to cut this one back a little bit, or just shift them and give the guy somewhere else. So it's up to you. Since my saw is very close, I'm just gonna go and trim it back a couple inches. But if my saw would have been downstairs, 20 something steps down, and outside the house, I will just use this short over there, one over there. So here now, I'm gonna put my full piece here. I want to make sure they're not the same. Okay, I'm gonna take another one, make sure they're not the same. I'm just gonna let it be here. Another tank, identical, see? So I'm gonna put it all the way up. And I'm gonna mark it here 1/4 inch shorter, trace my line, I'll put my line over there. Another identical one. I'm just gonna take it here for now. Put it wrong way. And whatever being cut off. This one right way up, wrong way. 1/4 inch, mark. I'm gonna go cut 1, 2, 3, 4 of them at the same time. 1, 2. Okay, now I can use this one to go over there, right? I'm gonna cut it off there. This I'm gonna find a piece just a little bit longer, so I could cut the damaged piece or part, damaged part. Of course, you don't want to make sure you don't have any seams here. It's gonna go like this. I'm gonna flip it, put it the wrong way. Now I gotta do 1/4 and 1/4. So I'm gonna mark it 1/2 inch shorter, approximately. Okay. Now I do need my tape measure. So I'm gonna line it up with a gap there, expansion gap over there. I'm gonna do 1/4 inch away from the wall. I'm gonna put my line. This gets removed. I'm gonna measure in that corner 1 1/8 inch. I'm gonna do 7/8, 1/4 inch shorter. I'm gonna measure here 1 1/4 inch. I'm gonna do 1 inch. 1 inch on this line, but I'm gonna measure it or mark it about 1 inch shorter to that side. I'll show you why. So I need 1 inch. See, this wall is rounded. If I do a square cut, you end up with this gap showing here. So you gotta round it up or round it. You want to use this. I don't. I just eyeball it and do this. If it's the first time you're doing it, you should use a square. Okay, and you can even mark your line if you want. I don't, because it doesn't have to be precise. So I just eyeball all these things when I'm cutting. Then I'm gonna cut through till here, and then I'm gonna break off that piece. I'm gonna do one at a time. I would have marked the other one and grabbed 2 of them and cut them at the same time, but I'm just gonna do one by one to show them to you, so you don't get too confused. Laminate is made of paper, pressed paper, called HDF, high density fiberboard, which is recycled paper, crushed and pressed. So it will snap like this. That's all you really need. Hardwood flooring won't do that. Even engineered has layers of plywood and then real veneer or hardwood, so it's not gonna break like this. But on the laminate flooring you can actually do that. Pry bar, I'm gonna stick in there, see, and hold it like this. Then I'm gonna ching ching, boom boom, chang chang chang, all done. I'm gonna just flip it wrong way. I'm gonna do 1/4 inch because it's all the way into the wall there. Now I'm gonna measure to this end wall 11.5. I'm gonna do 11 and probably 3/8 because I have all kinds of stuff in here. 11 3/8. And I'm not gonna mark it on the edge. I'm gonna mark it here in the middle. 11 3/8. Now I'm gonna do this. 1.5 inch, I'm making 1.25 inch. Again, eyeball it. Make a mark here. Eyeball it about 1/2 inch to the edge, and then do this, and we're gonna measure there, and it's 1.5 inch, and I'm gonna do 1.25 inch. Now put my big ass axe over here so I don't cut on the wrong side. This one a little trickier. see how I did.
It's the same. I don't want to use it here. I'm just going to grab a full plank. That's alright. Now look close here, see? This thing? This little piece will prevent this plank going all the way in. And this edge. That looks good. So basically what I want to do here is create this line. And I'm going to do it out of a full planks for now. Because actually I can put them, I can assemble that and then stick this one later on. So, okay, let's just put it together.
Of course, at the very beginning over there, I should have told you that since it's a drop lock, so you wanna start at the wall that's on your left hand side. So this ends up being in the field. Okay, so these can easily connect over here. Okay, in other words, if you start on that wall, now you end up with this. This cannot go over this piece. It can only be done from left to right with this particular form of flooring. They're all different. All floorings are different. So you just make sure
It's just starting the right direction. Okay, now I'm going to get back here, finish this. So I can actually now see if any of those are going to be long enough. No, now I'm just going to put them right here because I'm going to use them right in this corner. So again, I'm going to put it one way, quarter inch shorter, line over there. I'm going to put it the right way. Okay, so I'm going to do this 16. I'm going to make it 15 and 3/4. So my gap. So we're going to have a gap here, right? So 15 and 3/4, 20 and 3/4, 15 and 3/4, 20 and 3/4. And I'm just going to measure this 5 and a half and then do 5 and 1/4. So 5 and 1/4 here. My X. You don't have to do an X. Okay, so I cut this part off and I cut this part off. So I'm going to put it on the side. I'm going to do these bits. Put it the wrong way up, make sure they're not identical all around. Of course, I got lucky with the full plank like this, okay? Most of the times you don't have to trim it. With my pry bar, kind of gently put it in. Right. I'm going to take all these cuts. I'm going to use them to begin my next rows. And that's how you create zero waste. Zero waste in the field. Okay, my seams. This one too long. Too long. Excuse me. So I'm going to have to trim it. About 6.5 inch where it's somewhere. Then I'm going to add this. That. Yeah. Kind of sort of. Of course, you do want to make sure that the planks that you're installing are in good shape, right? Don't have any damage. And now I can use either the one row, I can use it, or I can use another one. It's up to you. Good thing I didn't because I have another one of this, which is already cut. Okay. Now we're going to go into the closet area. I'm going to take this one. And listen up. I'm going to fill those in back to back, so you just have to mix them up. I'm just going to do these two for now, because I'm going to have to go around this corner. So of course, I need my tape. This is a square edge wall, so it's easier. 3, so it's 2 3/4. This one goes in, okay. 2 3/4, 7 3/8. 2 3/4, 7 3/8. 2 7/8. 2 7/8. And I have this little piece of stick out here, so I'm going to measure to it. Let's do it 4 3/4. I'm going down this line, 1 3/4. So instead of going all the way up, it's going to have another 1/4 inch notch. Okay? So just like that. Let's do these two, and then do the rest. Of course, I'm going to leave this the very last. I'm going to use scraps. So now we can actually see again this thing. I'm going to skip out this one here. I'm going to have this one over here. Yeah, I'll use this one here. Well, here I can begin to use this to finish, because I'm 3/4 hours away from the wall, and they're too long, so I'm going to just use one last full plank, and then I'm going to use these guys. So this will go in here. I don't have any short ones. This will go over here. Now I can use this. And this is what these guys are leftovers from the very first 3 rows we did. So I'm going to use this one right here. And this is the only piece of this 4/4 that's going to end up losing it. So not too much, right? So let's do these 4. Tight. Look now. Okay. Much better. Let's see. Kind of sort of, you know. If it wasn't a big room, I'd probably not gonna do it. In a little closet, 1.5 planks. That's pretty good. About 5 inches instead of 6. Too close to the wall. Like this, right over there. Those aren't long enough, so I'll have to use full planks. You want them to be the same back to back. You will want to kind of pay attention to that at all times. Yeah, so those aren't long enough for any of that. I will use this, then this, and then one of those 2 scraps. And I'm going to do 1/2 inch shorter because that piece is all the way to the wall, about 1/2 inch shorter. So actually I'm going to leave 3 cuts and then finish real quick. It's a little tiny piece, and it doesn't want to go in, because a little tiny piece. It doesn't go in, don't force it. Pull it out and see what's...
I'm gonna put these guys together like this. Okay, line them up kind of, sorta. I'm gonna do this corner first. 6. I'm gonna do 5 3/4. Quarter-inch shorter for my expansion gap. Now, all these walls, they're never straight. Okay, there's a bunch of drywall mud here. So it always goes like this or so. So I'm gonna move a little bit, like a foot or so. I'm gonna measure again. And it's gonna give me 6 3/8. Quarter-inch off, 6 1/8. So this line will go at the angle to this one, to that mark. And here I'm gonna have 6 1/8. And from this to this, it's gonna go straight. That's why I'm lining up here, so I can do this one mark. This, we pretend it's straight. And of course you can measure. Just double check, okay? So now on this seam, I'm gonna measure 6 1/4. 6 1/4. And I'm gonna do this 6 1/4. So this side is straight, 6 1/4. Now I have 28 3/4. With expansion gap, it's 28 1/2. I'm gonna see where 28 1/2 is. See it right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 full ones, and the fifth is gonna be 2 5/8. And now I'm gonna measure this. 17 3/4 I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do 5 at 17 3/4. And I'm gonna go and grab all my scraps and do 5 at 17 3/4.
Okay, so 17 3/4, I need 5. That's 3. It's 4. And this one, I'm trim it to 5/8. 5/8.
Piece of cake. Alright, looking good. Now we're ready for the base.